It took me 6 years to learn this one concept that completely changed my life. And I'm going to teach you this in one video the next 15 or so minutes, and I'm going to save you 6 years of learning the hard way. Now, before we begin, the reason I'm recording this video right now, at this moment in time, is because it's September. Now, why does that matter? We're embarking on one of the biggest times of the year when it comes to making progress. If you've crushed it this year, then this is the time where you're going to set your new benchmarks, you're going to hit those new levels, hit your new normal. This is where you're going to level up your base. So that foundation, that income floor, that completely changes your life. It shifts you into the next gear. And your old great months become your new slow months. That's how it typically happens. It's not usually skyrocket growth all the time in business. What tends to happen is you level up to an extent where what was previously a fantastic month for you becomes your average month. Then it becomes a slower month for you. And that's where your new normal resets itself. Now, if you're on the other side where you felt really motivated and pumped up at the start of the year, but you took a few hits along the way and the momentum that you had sort of fizzled out a little bit, this is your chance to make up for it. Now is the time to make the difference. We can create a lot of momentum in the next 4 months. It's amazing what can happen between September and December. And this is your chance. You can take this chance. You can't sit on the fence. If you sit on the fence and don't commit, nothing is going to change. You're then choosing to continue. You choose that. It's a choice at this point to continue on without leveling up. It becomes a choice. You've got to commit to action, commit to your inputs, commit to doing the thing. That's the reality, right? It's a hard truth. You just have to commit to doing it. Make the decision to take action and then commit to your goals. There's no two ways around it, right? You have to take action. You have to do it. And all those barriers that might be in your way, if it's I don't have the money or I don't have the time or whatever it might be, there comes a point where you hit your breaking point and you think, I don't care anymore. I just don't care. And you go do it anyway. That's the difference. You will hit that point and you can choose to always avoid that point and make up reasons as to why you can't do something, or you can do it anyway and deal with the problems as they come up and just knock them down. That's typically the way it works. This allows you to maintain that momentum, right? You can create the momentum and you can maintain the momentum because it's all about consistent effort and focused work. That's the difference. Consistent effort. I made a post recently about a guy in one of our communities and in our circles that hit $55,000 in a single day. He shows up to this day, 2 years later. He's been in our networks and in our communities for 2 years now, yet still shows up every single week to our calls. Every week he's there, he's asking questions, sometimes twice per week. Sometimes we have a second call in the week, shows up to that too. It's nothing groundbreaking that he's doing on those calls, but he's just being consistent, and that's the difference. You have to be in an environment where you can become consistent. You then want to use this momentum to level up, taking your business to new heights. So much in business is done through momentum. It's not, big ideas. It's the consistent momentum that's built through daily actions. And this is going to transform your year. You can turn an average year into your best year ever simply by nailing the next 4 months. That's all it's going to take. Anything that you've done so far can be made up for. Any mistakes that you've made, any periods of slow patch growth or whatever the case is. Maybe things don't grow as fast as you wanted them to. You can make up for that in the next 4 months because it's buying season. We're coming into buying season. People are going to start doing things. Then we roll on to January as well, so that momentum keeps going forwards. It's a really, really good time of year for you to get moving. You can turn an average year into your best year ever. Now, one question I want to ask is, what would you do if you couldn't lose? What would you do if you could not fail, that there was no risk on the table for you? Would you put in the work? Would you buckle down and work hard to make that dream a reality? Take a second to visualize that dream. What would it look like? What would it look like if you had a profit of $50,000 every single month coming into your account? How would that make you feel, right? When that just lands in your account every month, how would you feel? Every single month, your business account jumps by $50,000. It's almost like you can't help it, right? It just comes again and again and again and just drops into your bank account. It just resets every month, then wham, another influx of $50,000. It's almost like you become a magnet. It's magnetic. Life becomes a little bit easier at that point. You can invest in different areas, which then sets you in a cycle of making more money. This is what happens, right? It's not about changing everything that you're doing. It's about understanding that when you hit these milestones, everything becomes easier, because once you're at that $50,000 a month mark, then you can invest in different areas. You can buy into different business models or diversify your income sources or get into real estate or do whatever you want, which then produces more future income. For me, it's email list. I will, to this day, forever build the email list because it's like a reserve. You can tap onto that list whenever you need to. So that's what I would do. Life becomes a bit easier. Now, there's two key aspects behind everything that we're doing. These are the foundations, these are the frameworks. If you focus on these two elements, everything is going to become easier. First of all, you have to build systems that deliver. So you want to create robust systems that consistently produce results and deliver value to your clients. Then we want to have multiple income streams from one business. Notice what I'm saying here though, right? Not multiple different businesses. You're not having a Subway franchise and also running your agency or your SaaS structures or whatever it may be. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is multiple income streams from one business. You have to engineer a business model with various different revenue sources, from recurring to high ticket payments. Bit of both here. Bit of diversification. Now, building your expertise is extremely important. Over the last 6 years, I've seen people absolutely crush it, but all they do is sell. They never actually build a level of expertise. And this becomes a bit of an issue. This is why you see people completely changing their offers and niches every single year, because all they can do is sell. That's all they ever learned how to do. I've seen people who have offers hitting $200,000 per month completely disappear, completely pop up with a new offer in a new niche, push it, disappear, pop up with a new offer again, and the cycle repeats itself over and over and over again until they catch another hot potato and it works. See, the issue is that they never actually build any capabilities. They don't become an expert in their craft, and they're always drawn to the next shiny object because it must be easier, right? That's what they believe. It must be easier. This opportunity must be easier. It makes me feel good. Must be easier. They never just face the challenge head on and work through to a solution. It's friction, so they move on to something else. This creates huge volatility and, honestly, anxiety as well. Now, what's the solution to this? The solution that I've learned. You find the right boat to hop in, moving in a fast flowing stream. Then you commit to it. You've got to actually commit to mastering the process and building an extremely robust business around it. I always like to master lead generation. That's where I tend to focus and hone my craft in this area. Why? Because people always need new business. So it's not going to go out of fashion, right? I can also take this capability and move across different niches quite easily. This means that I can leverage different markets. So if a market is booming at a certain point, I can take advantage of that boom period simply because I chose my craft with this in mind. So lead generation is the bread and butter. That's what we wrap everything around. If you can make other people money, you're going to be paid well. Would a business pay you $10,000 a month if you made them $120,000? Yeah, they would, because it makes complete sense, right? Yet all you do is carry out the same process over and over and over again because you've mastered the craft. You learn the one process and you just keep doing it. You're not adding different bells and whistles, trying 10 different things. You're just doing the one thing. But you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And the more you do this, the more you generate leads for yourself, the more you generate leads for clients, the more money you make them, the more money you make yourself. Because it's all the same thing, because that system is the same, you become better and better and better at it. Every repetition of that system increases your experience. So it's not as if you have to learn lead gen for yourself. You've got to learn a client fulfillment process. No, it's the same thing. You just do more of this, which makes you better and better and better. You do the same thing over and over again. And look, I'm not saying it's easy. This is mastering a craft. But wouldn't it be more beneficial to spend your time working on something that builds stability with something nobody can take away from you, which is your skill, right? Your education, your capabilities. No one can take that away from you. Once you have learned how to do this, you've learned how to do it. They can't come into your brain and take it away, right? At least not yet, I suppose. Now, let's look at engineering multiple income streams. This is the second extremely important aspect of this. We want to engineer a model where you have one business, but it provides multiple different streams of income. From recurring payments, lower ticket recurring payments, to high ticket payments as well. This is an area that people often miss. They only ever chase the high ticket payments and they become addicted to the dopamine. Most people use things like school. You've seen school out there probably at this point. They simply use it as a means to an end. It's just a platform for them. It's just a purpose. It's a way for them to identify users. That's it. They use it to build their high ticket programs or service. It's just a vehicle. That's why you often get into a group, and honestly, it's just useless, right? You get hit up by appointment setters constantly. It's not engaged at all. It's the same thing over and over and over again, and it just feels as if the information is watered down. And it's all because it's always geared from people to give you a little taste and then ascend you into the high ticket. Whereas really you should flip this entirely, but I'll come on to that. This is the wrong mindset. They're addicted to the dopamine. They need that hit. They need that hit of high ticket all the time. And they're stuck in this vicious cycle where the second they stop, their income drops, right? They might have some payment plans coming in, but that's about it. That's not truly generating new revenue for that month. That's just catching up from previous months that is going to run out. So they're addicted to the dopamine, and that's the difference. They get into this cycle where unless they're actively working, unless they're generating business, making sales, it stops or it doesn't grow. That's a bit of a problematic scenario. That means you can never take a break, right? And if you do, you've got to build a team, and that relies on other people, which is a variable, which is much harder than it probably sounds, managing those people. Much harder to systemize than something like software or a process. It's the wrong mindset. So we want to flip this around. We want to reverse engineer success here. Imagine a scenario where you had a recurring offer, like a SaaS structure, and you build this up to a level where it blows people away with value. Your main focus was to build this up. All you did was focus on build up the recurring revenue. You completely forgot about high ticket payments, just for a second. You've got recurring revenue flowing in every single month, which is extremely high profit. Then all of a sudden, because you focused on delivering high value for a lower price, you provide more value than anybody else out there. People are attracted to you. They want more from you. They come to you for more. You can then deploy your expertise, which was aspect 1 above, within their business, which is the systems, and bring them on as a client, so the tier 1 clients. All of a sudden, the client's a joy to work with. We've all had bad clients before, right? It's a nightmare, it's a headache. Clients that stress us out, but that's because you're trying, and it's the same with the people who are addicted to the high ticket payments all the time. They have to force people in because it's their only source. They're trying to bring the wrong fit people, the wrong fit clients into their business, in as clients, in as monthly recurring revenue clients for retainer models, or into their programs, or whatever it might be. They're always trying to bring these people in no matter what. That's where they get the bad fits from. That's where the problems and the headaches and the fires come from. You won't have that because these clients become a joy to work with. It's not going to stress you out. Why? Because they ascended internally. You didn't try and push them into anything. They came to you, which is a completely different dynamic. And the question of where do I get clients from becomes completely irrelevant. You now find clients from your own internal, extremely warm audience that have had an extremely positive experience with you because you provided high value for a low price. You blew them away when everybody else is giving them little watered down pieces of content and asking them to pay for it, and then basically gatekeeping the true information, which is, pay me more and I'll tell you more. No, we give everything away. And we say, look, if you want closer proximity to us, then sure, you can ascend. But you're not coming for information. We'll give you the information. That's the difference. That's how you build that magnetic attraction. Let's look at the power of recurring revenue. Do you know how much easier it is to grow a business when you've got a foundation of revenue coming through the door automatically every month without having to make new sales? All of a sudden, you can make decisions based on the future growth of the business because you aren't chasing new sales constantly. This is the holy grail. Yet so many people miss this. They only ever focus on those high-end, high dopamine offers, right, where they get the high-ticket transaction. Now, the reality is you can build a powerhouse of a business that you can be proud of that's going to feed you for years and that you actually enjoy and gives you the lifestyle that you actually want, simply by reverse engineering what everybody else does. It's not that complicated. You want to use a ladder funnel to bring prospects in automatically with high value intro offers. You have a high value recurring offer using a software combined with the ability to get support. So the software with the abilities to get support and a productized system, building the marketing systems. Now, you've got your done for you high ticket service offer that's only for people who know who you are already. You don't even need sales calls for this. But here's the secret, right? You may ask, well, what is my recurring offer? I've got the software, but how do I differentiate? What do I actually do here? This high ticket offer is a done for you implementation. It's called the Certified Acquisition Expert. It's a done for you implementation. And what you do is you go into a business and you implement these proven systems into their business, right? You implement the system into their business. And this system generates demand for the business. So it's always in demand itself. Generating demand is always in demand. Now, that's the implementation. That's for a business owner to take care of the whole process in 30 days, A to Z. You productize that. You take that process and you turn it into a product, a step-by-step, do-it-yourself implementation. And you combine it with the software where they can have plugged in assets like their sales funnels, like their automations, all that kind of stuff. They can plug that in instantly and they follow this process. Now you might think, well, why would anyone then want me to do it for them for the high ticket price if I'm giving them all the information? Because remember what I was saying earlier about the tier 1 clients. They want, the key is tier 1 clients, the clients that you want to work with. They want speed. They don't want to do it themselves. They will buy the product, the productized version, to make sure they understand the system and make sure they know what to expect and build a relationship with you. But they then want it taken care of for them. So the only people you're saying no to are the ones that would be a headache anyway. You're attracting the tier 1 clients, which means your business is scalable. It's much easier to scale. So your productized version of this service is your recurring offer combined with the software. That's the secret. And your intro offers can be smaller elements of this process. Again, I'm trying to bring people through a ladder all the way processing, you'll see it down here, basically flowing through into these offers, right? So I want them to be on the path that logically takes them to this, ideally, or this. If this is completely random and it's a completely different concept, my upgrade rates are not going to be as high. They've got to be related. So I'm going to take smaller pieces, smaller components of this process. I'm going to sell them as an intro product. And then I'm going to sell the whole package as a recurring offer with the software. And this is proximity and done for you implementation. That is how the ladder funnel works. You've got income flowing from your recurring revenue. Your audience builds automatically daily with the ladder funnel. Your future clients indoctrinate into your world 24/7, even while you sleep. Then when they're ready, they come to you. This is magnetic. You don't even need sales calls because they're positioned to come to you for the done for you implementation. This makes your life so much easier and your system so much more scalable. Now, if you spend your time mastering this process, you have control. You have expertise. You can deliver. You can hone your craft. You become a master of the system. This gives you complete peace of mind, knowing you've got recurring revenue coming in automatically every month and you never have to start from zero again. It also gives you the ability to leverage high ticket offers without relying on them, doing it when you want to, not because you have to, like everybody else. It removes the stress from the high ticket business because the clients come to you. They know what you do, they know who you are, they value your work, they come to you for more help. No more cold sales. This is a powerhouse. Realizing this changed everything for me. Hopefully it hits home and you see the opportunity sitting in front of you right now. Let's get it. If you like this content, make sure you like the video. Any questions, comment below and I'll get back to you. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're slowly but surely building up our subscribers and the feedback has been pretty good so far. Any content you'd like to see, just let me know and I'll try to produce it for you.